The day you stop drifting is the day your destiny begins. Look around you, witness the sea of humanity moving, working, consuming, but moving without a compass. They are passengers in a vehicle driven by circumstances, guided by the opinions of others, defined by the noise of the world, and held captive by the gentle, insidious gravity of average. They have goals, perhaps. They have wishes, certainly, but a goal whispered is a wish forgotten. A goal not quantified, not anchored by an emotional fire, is merely a passing thought, and thought, uncharged, changes nothing. This is the tragic epidemic of the modern age, a relentless current of action without a definite chief aim. You are working hard, yes, but are you working towards something specific, or are you just working away from financial stress, away from boredom, away from the fear of failure? The universe does not reward generalized effort, it rewards precision and conviction. You stand now at the precipice of a radical realization. The first and most foundational law of success, the master key that unlocks every other principle of achievement, is the absolute clarity of purpose. It is the non-negotiable definition of exactly what you intend to achieve, the precise amount of money you intend to accumulate, the specific life you intend to live, and the definite timeline by which you will claim it. Without this unyielding clarity, the human mind, the most powerful instrument in the known universe, remains scattered, unfocused, and vulnerable to the suggestions of failure. Think of Thomas Edison. He didn't just wish to invent. He set out with the definite aim of creating a practical electric light bulb, enduring thousands of documented failures. Each failure was not an endpoint, but simply data, a confirmation that one more path had been explored on the way to a pre-declared, non-negotiable victory. Your definite chief aim is the mental prototype of your future. You must build it in your mind with the same uncompromising detail a master architect uses to draw the final blueprint. It must be so concrete, so real, that you can already feel the texture of the victory, hear the sound of the achievement, and taste the reality of your success. If it feels fuzzy, if it feels soft, if you can describe it in 3 different ways, you are not ready. It must be a declaration, a command, a non-negotiable order given to your subconscious mind and the universe itself. The moment you declare this aim, the battle shifts from the physical plane to the psychological. Your aim is the central anchor around which you must reorganize every single thought, habit, and association in your life. It is the filter through which every decision must pass. Does this action move me closer to my aim? If the answer is anything less than an emphatic yes, then that action is a distraction, and a distraction is nothing less than a subtle act of self-sabotage. Your purpose is not a hobby to be pursued in your spare time. It is the fundamental operating system of your existence. Andrew Carnegie did not become the master of steel by having vague hopes. He had a meticulously organized, all-consuming plan. He created a mastermind alliance, individuals whose definite aims aligned with his, forging a collective energy far greater than the sum of its parts. Your aim will attract the right people, the right resources, and the right opportunities, but only when the aim itself is defined with the magnetic, emotional power of absolute belief. If you are struggling with motivation, it is not because you are lazy. It is because your aim lacks definition. It lacks the emotional urgency to move you out of the gravity well of mediocrity. You must write it down not once, but twice daily. Read it aloud. Let the sound of your own voice declaring your unstoppable future be the first and last command your mind processes every day. This daily ritual is not mere superstition. It is the engineering of your belief system, the essential process of implanting the command directly into the fertile soil of the subconscious mind, where all action and all material realization originate. The definite chief aim is fundamentally useless without the burning desire to achieve it, a desire that burns, not flickers, a desire so intense that the possibility of failure is not even entertained by your conscious mind. This is the critical, often misunderstood element of Hill's philosophy. It is not enough to want money. Everyone wants money. It is not enough to want success. Everyone wants success. You must want it with the same raw, visceral desperation that a drowning person wants air. It must be an absolute necessity. When Walt Disney was struggling, facing countless bankruptcies and rejections, his desire for the vision to create a magical world was so profound that it rendered temporary setbacks meaningless. His ambition was fused with an unwavering belief in the emotional power of his vision. That is the kind of fire your aim requires, and this fire, this desire, must be crystallized into a practical plan of action. An aim without a plan is a dream. A plan without an aim is chaos. You must draw a clear line from where you stand today, your current reality, your starting capital, your skill set, to the final outcome, your declared destination. This plan doesn't have to be perfect on day one. Perfection is a mirage invented by fear to stop action. The plan only needs to be definite, and you must begin to act upon it immediately. This is the non-negotiable start date of your new reality. The act of taking immediate, massive action creates forward momentum, and momentum is the engine of persistence. You will face resistance. You will face criticism. The world despises the man who dares to be different, and your ambition will offend the timid. This is where your aim becomes your shield. Every setback must be instantly reframed, not as a failure, but as an essential learning component, a navigational correction on the way to your definite goal. This is the genius of Abraham Lincoln. His life was a legendary tapestry of political and professional defeats, store failures, electoral losses, personal tragedies. Yet, he possessed an almost superhuman quality of persistence, driven by an unwavering, inner, definite purpose. He had a clear sense of what he needed to accomplish, and therefore every fall was just a prelude to the next, better, informed rise. Your aim gives meaning to your struggle. It converts pain into power. The moment you define your goal, you give the universe a target, and it will test you to ensure you are worthy of it. The test is always in the form of temporary defeat. The drifter gives up. The individual with the definite chief aim sees the setback as proof that they are close. They have finally put enough pressure on the system to elicit a response. Therefore, you must formalize your aim, give it substance, and place it outside of you where it can act as a constant, tangible command. You must write out a clear, concise statement, a declaration of independence from your average life. This statement must include the exact sum of money, the specific service you will render in return for it, and the date by which you will possess it. This is not about the logistics of the market. It is about the psychology of belief. When you write, you engage the conscious mind. When you read aloud with conviction, you engage the power of your voice. When you feel the emotion of the achieved goal, you engage the subconscious. This is the spiritual and practical act of autosuggestion, the tool Hill identified that allows you to communicate your command directly to the power center of your mind. If you feed your mind daily with thoughts of poverty, lack, and doubt, it will manifest lack. If you feed it daily with the bold, emotionally charged image of your defined wealth and success, it will reorganize every fiber of your being, your posture, your language, your attitude, to align with that command. You are literally coding your own reality. The challenge is not finding the aim. The challenge is believing in the aim, especially before the physical evidence supports it. This is the point where most people hesitate and ultimately fail. They demand proof before they invest their belief, but the fundamental law of achievement states that belief must precede proof. You must see the goal in your mind's eye with such vividness that its realization becomes a foregone conclusion. Consider the story of Henry Ford. He set out with the definite aim of building a V8 engine cast in a single block. His engineers told him it was impossible. Their knowledge and experience argued against it. Ford did not retreat. He simply commanded, "Produce it anyway and stay on the job until you succeed." For over a year they struggled, failing repeatedly until finally they broke through and the impossible was achieved. Ford's power was not in his engineering skill, but in his definite aim and his unwavering persistence. He had already claimed the victory in his mind, and the physical reality had no choice but to conform. Your definite aim must possess this same tyrannical command over your mental resources. This requires the relentless policing of your mental environment. Your thoughts are the raw material of your life, and the great tragedy is that most people allow their minds to become a dumping ground for the fear, doubt, and cynicism of the world. Your definite chief aim gives you a filter. Anything that does not serve this purpose must be instantly discarded. This includes negative associations, people who constantly criticize, minimize, or doubt your vision. They are the human embodiment of inertia, and they must be ruthlessly removed from your inner circle. Instead, you must seek out your mastermind alliance, individuals who share your ambition, who possess knowledge you lack, and who will hold you accountable to the high standard of your declared purpose. This alliance is not merely a friendship circle. It is a power combination focused on the attainment of your collective and individual aims. It is the amplification of conviction, and it is the necessary infrastructure for any monumental achievement. No great fortune was ever built alone. The final and most profound aspect of claiming your aim is the commitment to adaptability. While your aim must be fixed and non-negotiable, your plan must remain fluid and intelligent. Life will throw curveballs, the market will shift, you will encounter unforeseen obstacles. The persistent person does not plow forward blindly, they pivot intelligently. They learn from the setback, adjust the sails, and continue moving toward the fixed destination. The person without the definite chief aim quits when the plan fails because they confuse the plan with the purpose. The person of destiny simply re-engineers the approach. This commitment to continuous learning, fueled by the conviction of the goal, is what turns ordinary effort into unstoppable momentum. Your aim is the lighthouse. The path to it may change due to the tide, but the lighthouse remains unmoved. Every historical giant, from Carnegie to Disney, was defined by an unwavering aim coupled with an unending willingness to adapt the means of achievement. This moment is the dividing line. You have been given the formula. The only thing left is the absolute, unyielding decision to execute. Stop negotiating with your potential. Stop waiting for the perfect conditions, the perfect timing, or the permission of others. Your unstoppable definite chief aim must be declared now, quantified now, and backed by a plan of immediate, persistent action now. Write the command, read the command, feel the command. Let it consume you until it is no longer an aspiration, but a reality waiting to be materialized. The power is not external. The power is within you, waiting for the clarity of your command. Declare it, claim it, live it.